Love and light to all, and to all love and light. Welcome back. Welcome back. I wish you all well. Hope you are taking care of yourself, getting out in nature. I just took a walk. Ran a little bit earlier today, but I just took a walk. Left the cellular device here at home, and man, that sun is so healing. As soon as you get out there, you just feel the power of love and light and life. Today, first and foremost, we finally made it to the whiteboard. Okay, I've been wanting to jump onto the whiteboard for some time now, and we finally made it. So let's get some likes up on the chat and the video for finally arriving. Forgive me, I have some neighbors outside, so if you hear them, that's what it is. So today I want to kind of focus really right here. Okay, I know there's a lot on this board, and I was just listening to a lecture from C. Freeman L. It was his lecture on man, and this was done in '97 of February, end of February. But I really, I knew that I wanted to share this knowledge, although I know as well that I really want to take my time and I really want to be able to absorb what I'm being taught, right? But I did want to share something with you guys, and this kind of goes on the hind legs of the video that we made not too long ago. We talked about, I believe we talked about how food and overeating is taking you out of alignment, something along those lines. And we also talked about not so long ago about fire, water, earth, air, and how we are a component of all four of those. But anyway, I don't want to get too far gone. So we're really going to focus here on the fear of hunger. And basically, what's interesting when I listen to Brother Freeman today, is he mentioned that the fear of hunger is a biochemical craving based on one's experience with hunger. Sorry, my cat is over there just trying to make sure everybody's okay. And basically, the craving is for a deeper / higher food. Now, maybe around 4 or 5 years ago, I made a video, and I remember I was meditating a lot, but I finally was able to gain clarity on why people overeat, why people overconsume. Really, we can just talk about overconsumption, right? And really, it is a lack of knowing what direction that they are meant to go. Now, although I don't have a true understanding and knowing of what I'm about to say, I just know it from my gut, and I do know it, but I just haven't absorbed it fully yet. And that's why I'm listening to a lot of our ancestors. So we are here to become God, right? We are here to become gods. And in order to become a god, we're going to jump right here. The ability on the screen of mine is to create that which you desire. Not what McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell desires, not what TikTok or the television so desires, but what you so desire is a part of mastery. And at some point, you have to be able to sort out your desires versus commercial desires. You hear all these things about rainbow body and about the only way out is within, and that God is within us. And again, not fully absorbing this statement, but we are here to become God and ascend out of this realm. And a piece of video that I saw last night, it was a different lecture. Brother Freeman was talking about how you are here to become God, and if you do not do that, you will be back in this realm again, reincarnation. So coming back up here, the fear of hunger is a biochemical craving based on one's experience with hunger. The craving is for a deeper / higher food. And it's funny because I've mentioned this before on this channel. And if you want me to, leave in the comments. I will pin the video that I talked about this. I remember the day like it was yesterday. And I began to realize that all of these different, you can say, distractions, all of these different urges, all of these different lusts, right? Lust isn't just about love or sexual feeling. It can be also lust for food, lust for entertainment, right? Which lust is truly the root of all evil, right? Which is going to enslave you into this realm. So I really realized once I was meditating and once I was really just on my path that, wow, all of these things I've been using, you can even say not only distracting myself with, but using as a what is that word? I'm not gonna go deep into the word play, but using that as a synthetic replacement instead of actually going for that higher food, which that higher food is really discovering you and your mind and aligning the mind, the body, the soul together, becoming godlike. So not all biochemical. So yeah, so hunger is not all biochemical, right? Because when the soul, you, begins to urge upwards, the push is on your glandular nature, right? Your glands are giving you emotions, right? Because when we go right here down to, we have 12 different kinds of chemistry, which we're referring to as glands, 12 mineral stones, the Jews, which really is the jewels, right? These glands, if we are not in control of, especially air, our thought, our energy, our prana, and definitely earth, the body, and we're not aligned with our heart, then these glands will rule us versus us being a master of our own glands, of our own body, right? The master, the Lord of our own earth, which is our body. Earth is basically heart. So when you're not, when your soul begins to urge upwards, it pushes on your glandular nature. You have to have a craving, a passion for godhood. You have to want to become God. Craving is great for mineral foods. Yeah, I'm not sure what I really meant right here. But basically, you have to align with that craving. Otherwise, you're going to align with these cravings down here. McDonald's, TikTok, any food you want, any type of entertainment you want. And we talk about on this channel how this realm and the people who stick the obstacles in the realm know what they're doing, right? A lot of things like the Bible have been spliced up and cut up and spoken about out of context, which causes confusion. And if you're confused and you're not grounded, then your mind is going to be all over the place, especially if you're misled in the traditional teachings of the Bible in a biblical sense. So just kind of tying this all up together, I don't want to make this video too long. You know, when you have that hunger, when you have that craving, because trust me, in the past, I've mentioned this in the other videos, in the past I've had this craving. And I remember almost exactly where it was, pretty much exactly where it was. And I don't really want to go into detail just because it's going to be a longer video, but we'll just basically say, you know, when our predecessors or our parents, right, the mother and the father aren't truly balanced, or you're not getting the nutrients or the nurturing from both of these parents, you're gonna find it somewhere else, because that soul has an urge of hunger. And again, going back to some of the people who want to urge us in a more of a physical manner, McDonald's, right? Food, juicy steak, cheat meals, all of these types of distractions, they will tend to take hold of you, especially as an adolescent, a young children, right? And that's why it's really important to sort out your desires, again, and I'll say this with quotations, versus commercial desires. So I have experience with this from my upbringing, and now I'm at a point in my journey where I've been able to identify it, and I've washed, rinsed, and repeated this so many times where I have a deeper understanding, maybe possibly, might I say, than the average being. And this all stems from your soul is hungry for the real food. It's that plain, it's that simple. So as you take this knowledge, you take this energy, you take this video and you move forward, you have to be very understanding of yourself, and you have to be understanding of, again, one of the 7 Hermetic principles, the law of rhythm. And as I continue to go in this book, this is a very good principle. I think it's principle number 5. And we can even talk about momentum and kind of interweave those two, right? There are times, I don't want to say very few, there are times where one will be able to stop something cold turkey, right? One will be able to literally 180 pivot into the direction that they desire to go in, right? But for other cases, it is more of a gradual pivot. So that's why I urge you to kind of take your time and allow yourself to gracefully turn and pivot. And really, let's get deeper into that. I don't want you to get mad if you take all this in and you resonate with it, and then today doesn't quite feel like, I want to do this, but I don't know if I can do it right now. Well, right now, I think wanting to do it, feeling that this aligns with you, is a great first step. Summer's right around the corner, and I don't want to get physical, right? I don't want to get lustful, but summer's right around the corner. And if you're not quite feeling, and to take a step out of the center, feeling is the center, but take a step out of that. If you're not quite looking how you want to look, but especially feeling how you want to feel, and you start to lean into those energies, those emotions, that's a great start, right? Today is Friday, okay? So a lot of times I'm going to start a different nutritional direction on a moon day, right? Or even somewhere in the middle of the 5 days of the week. So, allow yourself to really not only take in this energy, but digest it, right? Start maybe downloading or writing down your food and tracking, not really what you're eating now, but what you want to eat. What would be your ideal, let's say, nutritional plan? And as you take these steps, surely, step by step, you will gain that rhythm, you will gain that momentum, and then it'll be a matter of time where you're hitting Fridays, you're hitting Saturdays, you're hitting Sundays, when one tends, especially in this matrix world, when one tends to kind of take their foot off the gas and they tend to maybe eat viciously, animalistically, you'll lean into ways of eating where you're not only you're satisfying that physical desire for something that tastes maybe a little bit better than chicken and rice or tofu and rice or right vegetables, but you may start to align and go, okay, you know what, I can recreate this. I'm gonna put myself on the chopping board. I can recreate this French toast that I feel like I desire, but I can do it a little bit healthier. I can use a certain type of bread. I can make it homemade. I don't need to go to somewhere where they're using different ingredients and different things that may take me off of my ascension, right? So you'll start to gradually feel and gain momentum as you take one step and you put one foot in front of the other. And before you know it, we don't need to put any time or days on there. I've done that in the past, but everybody's on their own pace in their own race. But before you know it, surely you will become, like I just said, to lean into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? Where again, the world tends to take their foot off the gas, and you will go, you know what? I'm gonna have a little something that I desire, that is satisfying, but let's clean it up. Let me make some things homemade. Let me use some different ingredients that I know are going to promote my forwardness, right? My urge for my higher cravings versus, you know what, I'm just gonna take the route that I think is easy, the route that may be easy at the time, when truly the easier route is going 10 toes down, leaning into your true path and your desires and balancing that. We're not here to suffer, right? We're not here to do things that are out of our true nature, which we all have one true nature, right? Right? When we look right here, pleasure and pain, and right here is perfection, right? I believe that the true way up is right here, right? Straight up, right? And now as I go and write this, I don't know where my, oh, here goes my black pen. Now as I go ahead and connect this is starting to look like, and then we connect this, starting to look like the Kybalion. But I believe that you do too much pleasure, you're not gonna get to perfection. You go straight into pain. Yeah, this is, wow, this is flowing. Sorry, surprising myself a little bit. You go into pain, you're not gonna be able to ascend, right? But if you go in between the two, right? Hence, again, I have a real good system where Monday through Friday, I'm on it. I'm eating exactly how I know I should be eating, right? From the center, the knowing, from the heart, knowing from the soul, how I should be eating, right? So really I'm over here. I'm over here on Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sunday, which is getting even stronger because ultimately we're able to transcend any of these cravings. I mean, like I said, it takes time, it's gradual. Saturday, Sunday, right? Let's go Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday, you know what? We, for lack of better words, we worked hard. We really did what we needed to do. We studied. We went the routes that we needed to go. Now it's time to kick our feet up, right? Now it's time to really enjoy the fruits of life. And I believe it's within balance in between these two where we get to perfection. So to kind of give you a synopsis and sum up everything that we're talking about here, you know, that hunger, that fear of hunger, right? When you're overeating is a fear of hunger. That hunger that you have is truly greater than just a biochemical craving, right? That hunger that you truly have is when your soul, you, begins to urge upwards, right? And again, that's, everything is connected in the body. And let me not butcher this. It's pushing on your glandule, which I know I didn't spell that word right, so, but it's pushing on your glandule nature. So that's why you feel that hunger, right? But when you're able to use your mind, which we didn't really talk about all of this because we didn't talk about it in this video, but when you're able to use your mind, right, and you're able to use your heart, you're able to kind of decipher, right, your desires versus commercial desires. Okay? And again, you're not going to get there through straight pleasure, nor you're not going to get there through straight pain, right? And what we're talking about is perfection, which perfection is God. You're not going to get there through one of these. You're going to get there through the combination, which pleasure is just another word for challenge. Or excuse me, pain is just another, well, hey, pleasure can be a challenge, but also pain can also be a challenge if you're not really submitting to who you truly are in your true path, because you've already submitted somewhere else. And a submission, this is just flowing. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Submission, this is just flowing right now. I never thought about submission like this until right now. Submission is just you submitting papers. You submitting a form to get inducted or to get enlisted into your true self, right? I'm submitting papers. You're submitting to your true nature. So anyways, we may or may not talk about the rest of this. I just really wanted to hit on this point because that's what I was feeling pulled to talk about. You know, like I said, we do have summer coming up. You know, it's going to get hotter. There's going to be less clothes on us. For some reason, that's one huge part of my alignment is taking care of, you know, my body. But definitely, I believe that the best way to take care of your body is through your mind. And then if you take care of both of those things, then you will be on your way, if not aligned with your spirit. Okay. So anyways, I appreciate you guys listening today. I wish you all well. And until next time, love and light to all, and to all love and light. Forever out. Take care.